Hey, this is Nick. Before we get started, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Inspiring Sobriety. I'm always looking for inspirational and positive things to wear, and that's exactly how I found InspiringSobriety.com. They have awesome apparel centered around recovery, with a cool line of hats, hoodies, t-shirts, and more. They are your one-stop shop for sobriety recovery gear. They even have the perfect sobriety gifts, with charms, journals, tumblers, candles, and more. One of the things I like the best is they have personal engraving on most of their products. They even have gifts for your sponsor. So go and check them out at InspiringSobriety.com. 2.5 years ago, I decided to change my life. I was almost 300 pounds and very unhappy. I've been addicted to drugs and alcohol ever since I was 13. I was in an accident, I was hospitalized and told I would never walk again. I knew deep down I needed to change, and so I started a new journey. I have lost 84 pounds and I am completely sober. I found 10 reasons why to change my life. The number 10 is very important. Now I talk with others to share their 10 reasons why. So buckle up and take this journey with me. Let's go for a ride. Brand new day. Welcome to 10 Reasons Why with Nick. This is my very first podcast. This is Sneaky, my emotional support, love of my life. I have Darcy here. Hello, Darcy.
Hi, Nick.
She's one of the reasons why I did the podcast, encouraged me and just gave me that motivation. Hey, Darcy, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm really honored to be here for your first episode, and I'm really proud of you for starting this conversation. I'm Darcy Pickett. I'm the interim executive director for Serenity House Communities. We're a local nonprofit, a recovery community organization in Michigan. And our motto is healing happens here. We're peer-led and peer-driven, and peers are the magic sauce. It's someone who's walked the same road, and we just support people every step of the way. We do everything from peer recovery coaching to recovery support groups, sober social rides, and I'm just really honored to be here. So let's kind of jump right in. Is that okay?
Yep.
Why the podcast, which I know we've talked so much about, but why now?
Well, the reason why I wanted to do a podcast is because I listen to podcasts myself every day, inspirational speakers, and they help me so much. They help me take that extra step towards doing the right thing for the right reasons. And I just wanted to give back because part of my life, I felt hopeless. I just wanted to die. I just didn't want to be around. All I did was drugs. I just destroyed my life. And so now that I found a new path, I would like to be able to share my path with other people and give them inspiration and hope to continue to do, go one more day.
Nick, that was perfect. That was so good.
Really?
Thank you for sharing that. That was powerful.
Oh, thank you.
And I know we've talked about, and I just love for you to be able to translate that because just how much it's helped you. And again, with even what we do, it's that relatability, right? With those who have lived it. So thank you for sharing that with me.
Yeah, of course.
So I want you to take us back to the very beginning for everybody to get to know you. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and growing up, just what shaped you?
Yeah. So I grew up in Michigan. I have 9 brothers and sisters. We all have my dad's side of the family, we have the same dad. My mom's, we have the same mom, but different dad. I don't have any really full brothers and sisters.
That's a lot of kids.
But yeah, I know, right? But I grew up in Pontiac, and I just remember being a normal child, except the fact that I got abused a lot. One of my brothers was like older and just always pick on me, and he would always abuse me. So that kind of took away my voice. And once I found drugs at a later age, I just kind of like ran away because of all the pain.
Escaping.
Yeah. But then when my dad died when I was 13, I moved to California, and then I just got into a lot of trouble. Always just tried to have fun and escape and anything to not feel. Yeah. And so that's kind of like what it was like at a young age. I just got into self-destructive behavior since an early age.
Yeah. And that's so much with recovery, right? Like with my personal journey or so many people that I know, a lot of times it's just to numb those feelings and how you're feeling, and it just snowballs so quickly. Yeah. So you've experienced a lot, and from being your friend, I just absolutely adore the person you are and what you've overcome in your life. It's been so much. You've experienced homelessness, the loss of a loved one, which I know is so tragic, and grief can just split you to the core. It has for me. But what do you think was the exact moment that shaped your life the most, and why?
Well, one of the things that shaped my life the most was when I was living on the streets of Las Vegas. I was sleeping on the streets. I was drugged out. I didn't have anywhere to go. And my brother said if I could stay alive long enough, he would get me to Michigan, and I could try to start a new life. And I remember I had to steal food in order to eat. I had to every time we'd stop at the gas station from the Greyhound bus, I'd steal food. I'd beg people for food. When I got here, I didn't have a quarter in my pocket. I mean, I didn't have a nickel. I didn't have nothing. And I just decided to change my life. I didn't want to be like that anymore. It was just shameful, guilt feelings all the time. And then that kind of really shaped my life because I just realized that if I don't do something about my life, I'm going to continue to go down, and I don't want to go to prison or die.
Right. What was with going through all that, which is just traumatic and terrible, what was the specific moment that you thought to yourself, I can't keep living this way? Like, can you take us back to that day and just like your thoughts and how you acted on that?
Yeah, well, you could that would have to fast forward because even though I moved here 20 years ago, I would do good and then I wouldn't follow through. I'd do good, I wouldn't follow through, so I was been in and out a lot. I'd get sober, go back, get sober, go back. So fast forward all the way up until the last time, 2.5 years ago, I got to a place where I was so broken and so tired and I didn't shower for a month. I didn't leave my house for 4 months. I went through all my money. I was just really in a bad place and I got so broken. I would call people and ask them if they would take me to rehab. But then by the time they got here, I would just not answer the door. And then I remember I said a prayer to whatever is out there. I said, if you could help me, then I need your help. If you don't do it, then it ain't going to happen because I tried so many ways to change my life. And I've been sober longer than I've ever been. I'm doing a podcast now. My life is completely changing and I just got to that place.
Yeah. And thank you for sharing that because I think that's so important for us too. So many people have a return to use and I love that you just got right back up and kept trying, right? But that is so many people's story that it doesn't always happen the first time. It could be the 5th, the 12th, the 18th.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So thank you for being open about that. When you say that you've found God, do you feel that was instant or was it a process for you? Because I know how much your faith means to you. And can you walk the viewers through that? What does faith mean to you?
Well, faith means to me is October 16th, 1996, around 7:35 p.m. I was talking to a person like I'm talking to you.
I love the exact day. I love that, Nick. Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking to, because all my life growing up in high school, I was wild. I was rebellious. I was just a mess. I was in special ed in high school. I never even paid attention. I just was wild, and then my senior year, we had to bring in a guest. I brought in the security guard from my school because I was so lazy. I just didn't want to go look to bring somebody in. I just asked him,
Just so
yeah.
Oh
So
gosh.
just anybody, quick,
Winging it.
last minute. Hey, come on, can you come to my class?
And he did.
Yeah.
God bless him, truly.
Right. Last minute hope.
Yeah.
And then one of my friends, Brian, he had his pastor come in and he got in front of me and he put his Bible on my desk, and I thought I was special because a lot of people didn't like me back then because I was so crazy. And I thought, wow, it made an impact on me when he said it there. And then after he talked and told his story, I asked him, hey, can I talk with you? And he said, hey, have Brian come talk to Nick. And when he did, he called me and said, I'm going to come over later. And that's how I know the time because I got out of work
That's amazing.
I was working.
It's significant.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was working for a tire company, and when I got off work, he was there. And he came into my room and he just sat down and he said, if he put out his hand and said, if I accept Christ as my Savior and believe he died on the cross and rose again, I'd be saved. And so I did it and I meant it. And since that day, I believe God has been in my life. I've turned my back so much, and just kept going backwards. But from that moment, something changed in my life and it's been a process.
Now you're a successful business owner. What habits or disciplines saved your life and now fuel your success?
Well, I think it's very important what you do first thing in the morning. So no matter what time I wake up, I get up 3 hours early before then. So if I go to the gym at 9, I get up at 6. And what I do is I get on my knees right away and ask my higher power or God to help me stay sober. And I ask for the willingness to be willing. I ask for a desire to help other people because what I found is the more I focus on me and my little plans and designs, the worse my life gets. When I think of other people, what could I contribute to life instead of what could I take, my life gets so much better.
I love that.
And then I read out of these books that I have. I write in a journal. I have non-negotiables. So one of them is I make sure my dishes aren't in my sink at night. And my house might be a mess, but my dishes aren't. So every day, no matter what, my dishes are done. And then now that then I went to making my bed, I make my bed now. I'm a big boy.
No, I love that. So many of us do the same thing, right?
Yep.
The bed, that structure, the discipline, it makes you feel better.
Yeah.
And just those little things. And you speaking about that is so true. You just have this service heart. You really do. You have said to me so many times that God, you just want to help serve his people. And I absolutely love that about you.
I actually said a prayer once because I've been struggling with addiction since I was 13 is when I first started doing drugs. And I just couldn't get a grasp on it. And I said, God, if you can take this from me, if you can save me from this, I promise I'll help your people the rest of my life. And that's why I'm sitting at this podcast now, because I'm doing my part. And what a trade-off. That's way worth it,
Yeah, it is. Now, when did you, because this is all about you and the significance of 10, when did you first start noticing the number 10? Like what event started happening and what was going on at your life at that time?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. 10 is one of the biggest things in my life. And how it happened was in January of 2000, I went to my first rehab, Salvation Army. Mm-hmm. And
Was it the one around here?
It's in, I was in California.
Okay, awesome.
Yep.
They do such great work.
Yeah.
We partner a
lot. I was in and out
of
of Salvation Army for 4 years. But in and out. I was living on the street, so I'd always jump in there. But the first time I went in January of 2000, I went there for 6 months. I got a job. I was doing good. I got my own place in Pasadena, California. And then I got the bright idea that as long as I don't do drugs, I'll be fine. So I'll go to the club. I like to dance, but I won't do drugs. I'll just drink. So what I did is I drank, and next thing you know, I'm doing drugs. I didn't realize that they go hand in hand. Sure. And I started doing really bad in my life, and I started finding a nickel at the weirdest places. Like I'd pick up this paper, there would be a nickel. I'd go over here. It just So fast forward, I started doing really good in my life, and in the weirdest places, I'd find the dime. So to me, I thought, wow, I'm moving up in the world.
I love that.
And so I went from 5 to 10.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I feel like God revealed himself to me. And when I'd be in the darkest places, when I needed somebody the most, I would drive down the street and see a billboard that have a 10. Or I would it just means something to me.
It does. It's so validating.
What it means to me is God is number one and I'm nothing without him. But together, we're a whole number.
That is the best. That is like the best way to explain it. I love you sharing that story because with my life, I've experienced so much loss with my dad, my mom, my sister, and it might be silly, but I find heart-shaped things from them, and I know it's signs from my loved ones always watching over and being with me, and it just, on your worst day, just finding something like that sign, it's so reaffirming, and it can just brighten your day, and I feel so many of us have those signs to let us know that we are walking the right path. So I just love the significance of 10 for you.
Thank you.
Now, recently, I know that you were put in a situation, and this was so powerful, the way you spoke about it. So if you could tell the audience what happened that day and how did it make you, want to pull back into your old life? What helped you stay strong? Can you walk us through that?
Yeah. So what happened was I was around somebody that used to work for me that started using drugs. And I seen them and they're like, come over, I'm not using, just come to my house and talk. So, I have a compassion. So I went there and then I go in the house and there's people using drugs in there and doing certain behaviors that I don't agree with. And so I just had to take a stand. I says, I have hard days. I get depressed a lot and I always don't understand life. But one thing is I don't use drugs, and I said it with authority. I felt the presence of God because I took a stand. And I got out of there immediately because I can't play games with it. And I went home and then my brain started telling me I'm missing out or, just the lies that I believed for so many years. So what I did is I called somebody, I talked about it, and then Sneaky came up and loved on me. And I said, this is the person I want to hang out with. I would lose everything. Yeah. So that was a turning point in my life that if I just take action now, action pronto, just move, get out of the situation, take a stand, claim what you believe in and walk away. And that's a turning point in my life, and everything that I experienced from here on out is a benefit.
You had said to, just kind of touching on that piece, that you felt the Spirit of God like help you stand up for yourself, like that conviction. Can you kind of talk about that?
Yeah, I just felt his presence because I start talking the truth. And the person that I was with said, "Oh, you're my friend. You walked away from me." I said, "No, I'm your friend enough to walk away from your behavior, to wake you up, to let you know that if you don't change, you could die or go to prison." And I start speaking the truth and not worrying about what anybody thinks of me or anything like that, because normally I do. I just wanted him to know that I love you enough to walk away, you know.
That he's got to want it. Like
You got to want it, yeah.
right. Like, and you and I talked after that. And I know just what a big heart you have. And I know you're like, am I doing the right thing? And I'm like, you are. Because you've came so far and you can't pour from an empty cup.
Right.
You got to be like who you are, state. And like, I was so proud of you. And it gave me chills when you said you really felt the Spirit of God come over you and like help stand up for yourself. And I'm really proud of you for that, Nick.
It shows me how bad do you really want it, because you
Yeah.
have to want it. Because if I didn't want
Yep.
this new path that I walk, then that would have been a perfect reason to turn around and go back, you know. But
Yeah.
there was no way, not today.
That's right. You have such a giving heart. How does giving to others help you stay strong in your recovery?
Well, giving to others helps me a lot because it makes me feel grateful that I'm in a position to be able to help.
Amen.
Because, like I said, I was living on the streets. I didn't have nothing to give, and now I've been blessed. And by doing the right thing, the right things happen, and I'm able to build a life. And helping others just makes me feel joy.
Love that. And you've helped obviously so many people in your life. You have been so wonderful supporting Serenity House and helping the impact that we make. You've been a key component of that. So I thank you for that too.
You're welcome.
Before we close out, I've been so honored to be here and just be a part of your life. I really do feel God has brought us together. Is there anything you don't think that we've touched on, like that you'd like to share with the viewers before we close up?
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. I just wanted to say that all you got to do is keep showing up, you know, just keep showing up, one foot in front of the other. There's so many times in life where I feel like I don't want to be here or life's too hard, but I just show up anyway. I put one foot in front of the other. I don't use no matter what. I get people around me that are doing what I want, you know. It's not easy, you know.
No,
But
you're doing it. I'm
yeah.
so proud of you.
Yeah, thanks.
You're amazing.
Thank you so much, Darcy, for coming out. I appreciate you joining me on my first podcast.
Thank you for having me. I really am honored to be here. I'm proud of you. You're going to do big things. You killed it.
Thank
So
you
be
very
proud.
much.
Yes.
High five.
High five, my friend. We got this.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, my first podcast, I'm going to continue to show up, and I'd like to see more of you. 10 Reasons Why with Nick. Have a brand new day. Hey, this is Nick. I made this podcast so I can encourage people to continue to put one foot in front of the other. Hit like and subscribe so we can spread the message. And remember, it's a brand new day.